Okay, let's get up in base. Let's get up in base. Let's warm up our bodies a little bit, and then let's start our side control focus. So your fingers, flexion, full extension of your fingers. I'm sorry, extend your fingers, like stretch, and then flex, squeeze, and then extend your arms. My right elbow just popped. Anybody pop? Raise your hand. Anybody's arm pop? Oh, it's so good for you. And then flexion, squeeze, and then in the squeeze right here, my arms are shaking, I'm squeezing so much. Small rotation of my wrist. Yes. And then tension throughout my arm, and then take your arm forward and forward and forward and full circle. I'm telling you right now, I will do this into my 80s because of what I have seen as a result. And up and up. I don't know if I'm gonna live till 80, right? But the point is I will do this every day. Flexion, tension throughout, tension, forward, forward, forward. I'm squeezing, circle, circle. And other direction. And squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now, if you can, it's hard to do it without having a support. But if you have a wall, something you can hold on to, you can do your knee. Can you guys balance and do my leg, not my knee, my hip, and then do a full circle. See that? And then I go back. No. Just for me.
I'm gonna lose my hips too.
You can do it tonight when you go home. Full circle. Here, up, up, up. Hug your knee, bring it up, and then open it, open it. And then once you go down, you go back again. Oh, it feels too good. Knees. Knees. Small circles. Other direction. Here. And now, that wasn't me. That was something back there, something cracked in the ceiling. They thought it was my knee. Extending your leg like this. Extending it. Maybe your foot, circles with your foot, your ankle. And then other foot. Beautiful. Let's go to the ground. And then legs straight and knees up. So legs straight as you sit up, and as you go back, knees up. Legs straight, and then knees up. Legs straight, here, knees up. When I go backwards, I'm going a little bit onto my neck. Just a little bit. Legs straight. There, and then legs to one side and legs to the other side. Here. Good. Okay. Perfect. Okay, guys, let's go to side mount control. So to show us, for a little bit of context, to see what we did yesterday, we can rediscuss it. I have one question before though. When it comes to side mount, and when you guys side mount somebody, like, I guess just from a show of hand, raise your hand if you feel like the majority of the time you end up losing the position almost a little bit more than you would like to. Like your side control needs a good amount of work. Raise your hand. half. Great. Maybe more than half. Very nice. So that feeling will exist forever to some degree, right? Like every single time I get in the side mount, it's very common for me to feel very good. Like, I had a great side mount, but then 2 people later, or an hour later, or the next day, oh, I lose the side mount, it's not that good. So it's almost like we need to kind of take that feeling of, oh, it's not that good, and repackage it and make it something else. And I spoke about this briefly last night after class, in that everything for me, it's just a game. If I can hold the side mount for 10 seconds or 40 seconds or 2 minutes, it's kind of the same thing. So for example, one of you guys might side mount me for 10 seconds and you lose the side mount. Your feeling could be, man, that wasn't that good. Or your feeling could be, wow, I held him for 10 seconds and it was amazing. So let's try to a little bit, I guess take that mindset into what we're doing right now, in the sense that everything is a victory. If you do what we're doing successfully for 8-10 seconds, amazing. Next time, 12 seconds. So starting with standard side control, arm under his neck, arm under his arm. And we talk about holding hands, but I want you to consider right now not holding hands. Neck hug and hand out, okay? Now, the reason to not hold hands is to create more of a feeling of responsiveness and not of control. Even though the control is not wrong, most people default to, I got you. We're starting today, we're here. Even my fingers moving and my hands kind of chattering a little bit like this, here I am. Okay, now with this understanding, if he bridges towards me that way, my leg is strong. Other way, my hand is out. Now from here, he might frame my neck around my face, freeze. Right away, I bring my arm over his head, I roll my hips, and I block his hip. He'll come back around my neck. I bring my arm over, I roll my hip, and I go back. If he bench presses me, bench press me. Here, push my shoulder right there. A little bit of holding, connecting to his elbow, his hip, his neck. Push me again, holding lightly. Throw me that way. Hand out, throw me that way. Leg is strong. Move in a circle. If he moves, I move with him. Move again, I move with him. Frame my neck. Around my face, look, arm, roll my hips, and then put my arm here. Okay, so we're gonna all do that by ourselves. And here's the energy, like I said, chest down, knee open, we're all laying down. I'm on my elbow to keep my chest a little higher, but my hands are light. And let your hands move. Give your hands a little bit of life. Don't be too fixed with weight on your hands and not too grabby. Move your hands like this. Here, hands are moving. And now from here, the person bridged that way, our leg is strong. A little bit of hand out. And now the frame comes around my neck. So I bring my elbow over the head. Okay, so let's all be on our right hip right now. Hold on. Everybody's right hip is on the ground. Okay, right elbow on the ground, left arm under the neck. That's so I can walk you through this. Now once they frame my neck, I bring my arm over the head, left arm over the head. Now I switch my hips, boom. And then my other hand comes back by the hip. Okay, here right by the hip. From here, my head is low, they bring the arm back around my head. Arm back over the body. Switch my hips, and then arm back around the neck. Here. And let me tell you right now, when you put your hands out like this and you move them and you're light with your hands, you should be the only person in the room. A group of 50 people in here, nobody is moving light like this. Everybody's here, afraid. Again, the arm comes in front of my neck, elbow over the head, switch the hip, and then block the hip. Great. One more time. Arm back over the body, switch the hip, and then hug the neck. And hands are nice. Perfect. We're gonna do the other side. Left hip on the ground. Okay, other hip is down, right knee is up now. Okay, my arm is out, this arm's under the neck. So does my arm want to hug the neck, or does my arm want to be out? Sometimes I want to hug the neck, but again, when you start to let go of things, you're gonna find that you're gonna lose a little bit of control, and then you're gonna go from neck, hug of arm. If you don't hold it and they push you, you might use your hand on the neck. So the beauty of not being too grabby is that your hand, too many people are like, oh, I got the neck hug. And then I tell them to put their hands out, and then they get pushed, and then what do? No, use your hand. Or even more, if they're pushing you further away, you can grab the gi. You can make things happen, or you can't grab anything. We'll have to discuss that one day. So here we are, neck hug. So now the frame comes on my neck. Again, which arm moves first? I refer to it as the light arm. So light, and it happens to be our right arm right now, but there's no weight on this arm. So arm over the head, switch your hips, other hand back step, blocking the hip. Here I am. Once again, the frame is no longer on my neck, it comes around my head. Light arm over the body, switch the hips, boom, hand by the hip again. Great. Okay, Evandro right here, please. So that's what we did last night, and now we can add this, which we also did last night, is that sometimes he starts to push my hip. Look how I am right now. So my arm is not under the neck. My hand is here. Bench press me away. Look at my, push me more and more. Look at my hand. This is what I talked about. It might not push me now. Harder, right? Mm-hmm. It's harder, but I have the confidence that even if I don't have my arm here, this is amazing. And if you had a gi on, I can grab onto his gi right here. This is enough. So that's what allows me to behave so, look at this, dancing hands. Now when he pushes my hip in an attempt to recover guard, maybe go back, as he pushes my hip, go ahead, I grab the tricep and my hip sits through. I would say the number one detail on this move is this foot right here. If it's not in a good position, he can maybe sit up, and knock me off balance. I personally do it all the time. So anytime you sit through, tricep hold, elbow pinch, knee tight. Look at my back foot, a little extra. And now watch my energy drives forward. Sit up now. It was like he's trying to sit up into a wall. Yeah. It's not gonna happen. Now from this position right here, boom. If he frames my neck, look, right away, arm over, leg under, and roll my hips. Hug my neck again. Look, one, back to standard. Now he pushes my hip. Grab it, pick it up, sit through. Head low, watch my top leg back. Watch my shift of my energy, forward. Now he happens to frame my neck. Look, arm comes over as the bottom leg goes through, and I go back to modified side mount. He hugs my neck. Arm over, switch my hips, back to standard. Okay, by myself, thank you. So standard, we're on our right side, right elbows on the ground. And now my hands are light and hands ready to grab, ready to pick up. He pushes my hip, scoop the elbow, boom, bottom leg through. Now with my head low, my up leg goes back like 7 inches. And then, look at my energy right here. Boom, I drive a little bit forward. We can all look up at the camera. But as I mentioned last night, having your head down is essential for this technique. From here, the person frames my neck. Arm goes over the head, bottom leg goes through, switch my hips, modified side mount. Right hand blocked by the hip, and the head is low. Oh look, they're not framing my neck anymore. Right arm over the body, switch the hips, left knee bent, good, and back to standard control. So we're now in standard control. Again, somebody pushes my hip, grab the tricep, pick it up, bottom leg sit through. Top leg, go back a little bit. You guys, this is the detail. The top leg going back a little bit. I'm telling you right now, out of 100 people, 90 I will knock backwards. Maybe 95%. Because this foot is sleeping, because they never imagine how off balance they are in this direction. So this foot has to go back, and look at the energy now. Boom. And then I drive forward. Oh, the frame of my neck just happened. Elbow over the head, top left elbow over the head. Switch the bottom leg through. Switch the hips, good. Right hand, big backstroke. Right knee should be bent, and right hand by the hip. No more frame of my neck. Arm over the body, right arm over the body. Switch the hips. Don't sit through yet. Sit, this is standard. Left arm come out and hug the neck. Standard control. Head down. Look, I held hands. See, even I have it in me. Other side. Okay, standard control, other side. Right knee is off the ground. Right knee's off the ground. Left arm is under their arm. Right arm is kind of under the neck, but light. Oh, they're pushing my hip. My right hand grabs the tricep. Pick it up. Bottom leg sit through. Top leg adjust back a little bit. Lean forward, head forward. Ah, the frame just framed my neck. So annoying, but no problem. I just flow with it. And I bring my arm over the head as my bottom leg slips out. And now I do a back step with my left arm and block the hip. Modified side mount. Why is the hand on the ground by the hip so they can't recover guard? Their frame is still on my neck. They take the frame off the neck. Arm over the body. Switch my hips. Right arm comes out back underneath the neck. Hands out, knee off the ground. One more time. They push my hip, grab the tricep, pick it up. Sit the bottom leg through. Top leg back. Boom, head down. Head down. The frame still slips in front of your neck even though you have your head down. So you bring your right arm over the head. Bottom leg goes out and back as you switch your right hip to the ground. Left knee bent, hand by the hip over here. And this bent left knee in the modified side mount, it can be on the ground. Sometimes it's off the ground, but it's probably on the ground more often. And now the frame was on my neck, but the frame leaves. Left arm over the body. Switch the hips, and then the right hand come out back underneath the neck. Any questions at all? Any questions were typed in? Any hands you raised? Good. We'll add the smart knee now. Evandro, right here, bro. So from this position, let's say I grab the tricep and I sit through and I'm here low, but his arm that I'm holding slips to the ground. Boom, I lose his elbow. What is the risk here? The risk is that now he bumps into me and uses his elbow to bring his knee inside. Boom, go back. So you notice how if I hold his tricep, go ahead, do that again. He can't, his arm, he needs his arm to help kind of keep me away as his knee fills the space. We showed it yesterday a little bit differently, but we're gonna do the smart knee now from this understanding, which is same move. So I have this grab, but I lose his tricep. Boom, the elbow slips through, freeze. Before I don't wanna try to re-grab this. It's way too glued to the ground, especially if he's good, but I can immediately, using this foot and my knee, watch my right knee. Boom, I bring it to here. Now, my fingers are right near his elbow. Now I know that his right arm cannot do anything without his elbow leaving the ground. Put me in the guard. Whoop, now I pick it up again. Any questions? So, let's all be right here on our right hip and right elbow. Right hip and right elbow. This is called the cross chest. You're facing the person. Now I already grabbed their tricep. I'm holding their tricep up. My head is low. But while holding the tricep, for some reason it slipped out. I lose the tricep. Their elbow went to the ground. Immediately, using my foot and my elbow, I'm gonna bring this knee, like, whoop, to my knee. Go. Go to your knee. Yes. Now from your knee and elbow, there's a little space for the body right here still. My hand is on the ground waiting. And the bottom person's elbow is like this, and I'm right outside of it. The moment they push, you lift it. Not yet. I'm here, I'm holding it. They push, I lift it, and I sit back through with my head low. Everybody sit back through, good. So elbow and head, leg is back, weight is forward. Oh, boom, I lose the elbow. Don't wait, the moment you lose the elbow from this sit through, the reflex is knee. Go, everybody, right elbow, right knee on the ground. Right elbow, right knee. Fingers waiting, hands waiting. Their elbow is nailed to the ground. And you know that they can't do much with the elbow nailed to the ground, but when they push, you're ready, they push, pick it up, sit through, go, sit through. Beautiful. Everyone looking so synchronized. Again, I lost the elbow. Boom, knee, lost the elbow, knee. Good, right elbow, right knee. Fingers waiting. Oh, they push, pick it up, sit through again. Amazing. Now, right where you are, sit up like this. Look, and throw your legs the other way. That worked out great. Elbow on the ground. See that? My left elbow's down. And now, look at, I'm already holding up the arm right here. And from this arm control, everything's tight, my head is low, but it's got slippery, sweaty. I lost it. The elbow went to the ground. Go to your left knee, quick. Left knee, left knee, left knee. Get up on your left knee. Right leg is up in base. And now from here, my fingers are waiting, sensitive. Oh, they tried to push me. Pick it back up, sit through again. Pick it back up. Left elbow on the ground, left hip on the ground. Right knee up in base. I got the tricep, it slipped out. Left knee, go. Left knee, left knee. Head is low. Fingers are waiting. Fingers are on the ground, hand is flush, waiting to pick it up. It's literally, it's like this. It's against the person's arm. And in my mind, I'm thinking, please push me away. So when they push, pick it, scoop it, sit, go. Sit, sit. Yes, elbow down and head is down. Last one, lost the arm. Go to your knee, go to your knee, go to your knee. Yup, right knee's out, left knee's down, and wait. Be here, hum a little bit, and then they push. Pick it up, sit through again. Great. I love it. Questions on this sit through, cross chest, losing the elbow, transitioning to the smart knee. The knee is smart, that's why it was drop your elbow. Boom. My knee now goes to the smartest place that it can go, which is, whoop, here. And my finger waits. My hand is waiting. Hand is waiting. Okay, and it doesn't take more than like 1 or 2 or 3 seconds for this elbow to leave the ground. Because how do you feel right now, Evandro, in terms of how much control do I have of you? Not that much, right? What do you feel? Do you feel trapped?
No, I do not.
He does not feel trapped. Why not? Because there's not that much weight on him.
But I have to move to
yes.
accomplish.
And because there's not much weight, we know that he believes that his arms can move me, which they can, except that when he goes to move me, like not only do I move, look at my hips, I move my hips, so I take away that which he intended to brace off of. Did a question come up? Read it for me.
Do you ever use your opposite arm to hold your head to trap their other arm in side mount?
Yeah, like this. Yeah, sometimes we do this. I don't do it too much. I'm big. Bring your arm in front of my face, like that. Go back again. The reason to you hold your head would be to kind of bring it around. If he goes now, he can potentially leave an arm lock. So I like this. Bring it around my head. Bring it around. Faster. So I'm a very big proponent of using my head, and I shadow the person's movement, but this is okay, and there are some good attacks from there also.
One more question. Can you flatten and block that elbow with your hip while still keeping the smart knee, or is that something else?
Flatten this elbow. Yeah, so when you do the smart knee, can you still flatten this arm of theirs? Can I block and flatten this? When I'm doing the smart knee, no, there's no flattening of this arm. I believe you mean this arm. No, all there is he can't put me in the guard without activating this arm. And when he activates his arm, he gives me an opportunity to scoop his tricep, which then allows me to sit through. And let me tell you this right now, when you put me in the guard, this is the default response. When somebody puts me in the guard from standard side mount, it is to sit through. And when you're wearing no gi, when things are slippery, this idea of holding this tricep right here, it's nice, but I probably lose this tricep 40% of the time. And when I lose this tricep, the default response, go ahead, boom, is knee to the ground. To be waiting, fingers waiting, so when he pushes, I can then reestablish it. And then maybe next time I'll have a little more control, a little more pinch, a little more hip closeness. Who knows? Because pull your elbow to the ground now. You see that? Whereas if I'm here, it's more of my arm holding it up. So maybe I wasn't north enough, pull it down. So now my own thigh is keeping his elbow from being able to drop to the ground. Okay, let's do this now. Let's go to the mount. So we talked about how to mount from here. After having controlled the side mount for 30, 40 seconds, how to mount. And we did a mount transition yesterday, which, let me see this. I'm gonna do a different mount transition just for fun, but I'm trying to see by myself. Boom. We're gonna mount over the person's head. So, from this cross chest right here, if his elbow slips to the ground, boom, there's a possibility of me pushing his hand to his chest and mounting like this. See that? So I'm mounting now with a north step from the cross chest. Yesterday, we talked about some standard mount transitions, and also this one, where from here, you can shift forward and then throw your legs into the mount. We will also review that. But right now, let's play with this. One more time, and then I'll remove Evandro, but he pulls his elbow to the ground, freeze. My hand slaps his arm to the ground, to the chest, and now using my foot and this hand, my body lifts. And as my body lifts, I do a back step over his head, look, boop, and now my knee drops. As I lean, I throw my hook inside. So by myself, I'm here, I'm on the side, I have the tricep. I lose the arm, right elbow down, I'm on my right hip. So when I lose the arm, immediately my hand kind of slaps their hand to their chest. And now using my hand and my foot, I lift up and I step backwards. Now from here, put your left knee on the ground. Perfect. Now as I lean off to my left, watch my right leg, it swings back and around. Nice. Again, I'm on my right hip and my right elbow. This is another one of those mounts that completely catch people off guard. They never imagine that you're gonna mount them because you're sitting here facing them. They expect you to switch your hips to like step over the legs. But instead, I have the tricep, the arm slips out. We could go to the smart knee, but instead the arm, as the arm is slipping out, I'm already, boom, slap the hand to the chest. Hand and foot, lift your elbow off the ground too, like sit up, and now using my foot, my hips lift up and my leg goes, boop. Now left knee on the ground, and then left hand out, and then go back this way.
Straight to mounted triangle.
I'm going straight to the mount. But the question was, can you, as he pulls his arm to the ground, can I go like this, boom, straight to the mounted triangle? Remember, I just pushed his hand down. If his elbow stays low, then this is gonna be tough to do a triangle. But if my landing on his stomach creates this, this reaction of that, then yes, it's possible that I go to the mounted triangle. But I would not suggest that you go for the mounted triangle until you become very proficient at just mounting, because it's so close and it's very easy to be distracted by the triangle. So make it first about just getting to the mount. I'm gonna show you one time, kind of fast. Leg, here, hand. Now there's something that's happening right here, which we can talk about, which is this. The moment I lose it, I slap, I step. Right now, as my knee goes down, this hand anchors his thigh. Has two purposes. One is as I lean, because go for elbow escape over here. You see that? I want to guarantee that hook. And two, I want to like bump me that way. Just bump your hips. Bump again. You see? So two things. I want to be anchored and I want to have my hooks in. And my hand has nothing else to do. So I might as well just grab the thigh, I lean, and I throw my hook in. So this backhand action, thank you. Here I am, right elbow, right hip. Let's try that now. In solo. Hand is, lost the elbow. Slap the hand to the chest. Pick up, sit up, big step. Left knee down. This is where we kind of find ourselves, on our left knee, right leg like this. Anchor the thigh, right hand grab the thigh. Left hand out as my right leg folds back and I'm in the mount. And of course, immediately dropping my hips, full hip pressure. Now we're gonna switch sides. I slap the hand, I sit up, I do the step, and my right knee goes down. And now I grab the thigh and I lean there. So again, on our left hips, look at that, we're all
learning together.
We're all at the same place. So I'm on my left hip, I have the tricep, the arm slips out, slap the hands to the chest. Slapping the hands to the chest, foot and hand, sit up. Big step over, boom, right knee down. Now lean to your right, left hand anchors, and then left leg comes around. Nice.
What's stopping the opponent from fighting your leg swinging over with other arm?
What is stopping? We're gonna do 2 more times on each side because it's too good. But one question was, what is stopping? It's a common question. What is stopping the opponent from fighting my leg with the other arm? The first thing that's stopping it is that you don't expect my leg. And two, when my leg lands, the first feeling is, from my experience, not to fight that leg so much as to kind of like just keep your elbows tucked in to make sure that you're safe. But if I throw, he might fight this, but I throw it back that way. Boom, and then I go back to here. So sometimes it is true that my big step simply results in me getting thrown back to where I came from, which I don't really mind because where I came from was also amazing. But if I step sometimes, throw it. What do you feel?
It's too far.
It's too far. So the bigger, if I step like this,
Yeah.
he's stronger to slip underneath. But when you start to step bigger, go ahead, step, step. It's almost like more natural. Pull your arm out. That's from what I've noticed. When I land my leg here, he feels good. When my leg lands a little higher, it's easier to slip it out, to do that. So the bigger the step, the better. Okay, so by ourselves again. We'll do it one more time on each side. Let's have our right elbow down, right hip down. Right elbow down, right hip down. Tricep, pick it up. Arm slips out. Slap the hand to their chest. Get up on your right hand and your left foot. Big back step. Boom. Right foot does a big step. Left knee to the ground. Nice. Now as you lean out to your left, your right hand, lean to your left, Suzanne, lean to your left. Go on your left knee. Sit back on your left knee as your right hand reaches back and put the right hook in. Yes, that was good. Other side now. Now I'm on my left elbow on the ground, left hip on the ground. Cross chest. Tricep, pick it up, and then from here, lost the arm, slap the hand to the chest. Right foot and left hand on the ground, and I do a back step. Boom, right knee down. And now go onto your right knee. As your hand grabs their leg, you fold your leg back in your mount. Good. Very nice. So now let's do one last mount right here, Evandro, please.
Yes.
The last mount that we did yesterday also, good review and good practice, is from standard side mount control, from cross chest right here, holding the tricep. This is not, I don't lose the arm, I'm still holding the arm. Even though maybe it would work if you lost it, but I feel like keeping it's probably best. Now with this foot down, I shift my weight forward, rotate, rotate, rotate. And now I shift and I bring that. So I throw my right shin across the hip as my back hook slips in, or yeah, my back hook, and then my other hook goes in. One more time. So the weight shifts forward onto my head. My head and this foot hold my weight, allowing my leg the space and the lightness necessary to make that step. Shoulder, head is low, foot, rock forward. And obviously, that would be sped up a little bit, but right now, let's be on our right elbow. Right elbow down, left foot down, hold the tricep. And just from right here, the body underneath you, go through the motion now of going forward. Your head goes down, hips come up, knee, back leg, and then mount. Right knee across the belly, and then mount, yes. So once again, my right elbow is down. My right knee goes across the belly first, but my left hook goes in first. I got the tricep. I got the underhook at the head low. I hold the arm. Again, they don't expect the mount because I'm not facing their legs. Until at least when I shift forward, head, knee across the belly, back leg in, and then right leg mount. Good, one more time. I want to watch you guys a little bit. Go one more time. I want to watch with more focus. If you have a question, raise your hand. Knee across the belly. That was good, Derek. It's perfect. Good, Yvette. Good back hook, and then right hook goes in. Okay, I'm on my left elbow now. Same thing, other side. My left hip is down. Left elbow, holding the tricep. My left knee, that's right here near their head, is gonna go across the stomach. Tricep, head is low, using my foot and my elbow. Rock forward, my head goes down, knee across the stomach, back leg, and then I mount. Go, knee across the stomach, Robert, good. Right leg in, Robert, right hook, and then mount, yes.
Do you let go of the tricep to put your hand on the mat?
No, once you're mounted, yeah, I'll show you. You keep the tricep for a while. When I hold here, look at my hand, foot, here, one. Oh. See that? My hand letting go of the tricep is 90% into the mount. I'm pretty deep into the mount. There's no rush to let go of it. And that's because I have this hand and I have this hand. I have two other hands. Look, hand. When I say hand, I mean post, right? Your head is a great post. Great. Now let's put everything together and transition to the mount. One will be if we lose the tricep, we'll slap it and we'll step over their head. Or if we keep the tricep, we'll shift to our head and slap our knee across their waist. So starting from standard control. Right elbow on the ground. Yeah, left knee is bent. Standard control. Hands are light. Person frames my neck. I throw my left elbow over their head. I switch my hips. So now my right knee is bent. Right hand comes back, block the hip. They remove the frame from my neck. Arm over the body, switch the hip back. Left arm, hug the neck again. Perfect, yes. And now from here, this person now starts to try to push my hip and put me in the guard. So I pick up the tricep and I sit through, bottom leg through. Put that top leg back a little bit. Yeah, and now drive forward. Now when you drive right there forward, all of a sudden, boom, you lose the person's arm. So you slap the hand down, get up on your hand and do that, boom, reverse step. And now knee to the ground. And then I lean and I grab and I mount. Good. I'm on my left elbow now. Left elbow down, left leg back, right leg is bent. We're on the other side. From the side control, everything is light. Frame happens. Arm over the head, switch my hips, block the hip. Oh, the frame leaves. Arm over the body, switch to hips, go back. Oh, they push my hip, pick it up, sit through. But from the sit through, they frame your neck. Arm over the head. As you switch the hips, go back to modified side mount again. They let go of the frame. Arm over the body, switch the hips, back to standard. Hug the neck. They push the hip, pick it up, sit through. Top leg back a little more. Lean forward, ready to go. Nice. And now keeping the tricep. They can't pull to the ground. Why not? Slide your hip forward. Under their elbow more. Yeah, be underneath their elbow. They can't pull it to the ground. And you want to mount. And they never expect the mount from here. So you keep the tricep using your foot. You shift forward, put your head in the ground. Leg, hook, and then hook. And mount. Beautiful. One more time, right side is too fun. Right elbow down, right hip down. Left arm is under the neck. Okay. They push my hip, right? They push the hip right away. Boop. Went straight to the hip this time. Sit through, cross chest, head low. Back foot adjust, drive forward. Nice. And I lost their arm. Smart knee, smart knee, smart knee. Right knee tight, smart knee. Right elbow on the ground, right elbow on the ground. Controlling their hip. I'm waiting right by their elbow. They push my hip, pick it back up, sit through again. Oh, they frame your neck. Arm over the head, switch to hip, modified side mount. Oh, they let go of the frame. Arm over the head, switch to hip, back to standard. Back to standard. They push the hip. Oh, I sit through again. Great, I got this. Oh, I lost the elbow. Smart knee, smart knee. Smart knee, I lost the elbow. Good, and now I got the elbow again. Sit through again. Perfect. And now keeping the elbow, you're holding it tight, but it slips out. It lost the elbow again. Slap the hand to the chest. Get up on your right hand a little bit and do your back step. Left knee down. Right hand grabs the thigh, lean off to the side, and put the hook in. Beautiful. Questions? Questions? Of course, having a body. Can you please review the order of the hook insertion again? The order of the hook insertion on, there's two hook insertions, right? I'll review the order on both. So, let me show the back side. So if I'm like this, a little more this way. So if I'm here, for example, if I have his tricep and I shift to my head, knee, back hook, and then hook. So this hook went first and then this one went, that's for one. That's when I keep his tricep and I mount. Or if, if his elbow slips to the ground, I slap, step, knee, hand, look, hook. Now the other foot is right here near the hip, but this hook essentially goes in first and then my other hook goes in. So even though my foot was close and my knee was down, it wasn't a hook yet. So the stepping leg becomes the first, knee went down, hook, and then hook, okay? Beautiful. Tell me, when you step over the head, can the bottom person do a backdoor escape? Yes, we showed that briefly, right? When I step over the head like this, boom, can he do that? It won't quite be an escape. It is more like him throwing my leg back. And from my experience, because my step is so big, most people bring their arm out. And you can make a point, bring your arm back underneath, to actually make your leg land, but not be like a loose leg. Go. You can give your leg a little bit of life, and then they'll try it and they'll say, no, and they can't. So the answer is yes. And that's the thing about when it comes to side mount control, when you let go of the idea of being too controlling, you throw your leg, but then they throw it back and you're like, it's okay. And you just keep, and then before you know it, you throw something and then it lands. And they try to move you, but they can't move you. So the fact that I do something big and then they throw it right back, the feeling is not that of, oh man, it didn't work. The feeling is, I'm getting, look at you, you're fighting me. You see that? He's fighting and I'm just playing on top. I'm just dancing on you. I can't, like this, not like this. Yes.
After the step over, is your weight forward or backward prior to reaching back on the leg?
And this is the thing. The number one game right here is when you step, like how long can I just sit right here for? Which way am I off balance?
I don't feel like.
Correct. It looks like I have no balance. And this is the move, you're probably better off sitting like on a basketball or like a punching bag so you can have a little bit of height. But right now, I don't feel off balance in any direction. That's because I understand anchors. Like I mentioned before, if I anchor his thigh, throw me that way. It's not very easy. He might want to like move that way and push me back that way. He's got to be careful because of triangles when he comes up, but more importantly, move again in a circle. Move, move. You see that? Push my body. You see that? Look. The more he pushes, keep your elbows down. Nail to the ground. Now, push me off. You see, I told him to keep his elbows down because I put him in safety. But now, look at my hands are right here. Neck, shoulder, jacket, shirt. As he pushes me, go ahead, up here. Boom, boom, boom. He kind of creates. Now, elbows nailed to the ground. Nail your elbows to the ground. I can't attack, but then I can go here. So that position where you sit right there, it is true, you are very off balance unless you're creative with your anchors and you are clear on what actions of his put him in possible triangle or even other stuff. Last question? Thank you.
When you step, can the bottom person do a backdoor escape?
No, you asked that one. I answered it.
Oh, just kidding.
Good.
Go all the way down.
Let's visualize. Let's just see one more.
Yeah. Can he swim the other arm in and do a double underhook pass?
Remember, people's reflex is not to dive arms under things. People's reflex is to put their arms here to their face. But can he go under both my legs? Yes. Now, that's not most people's reflex because now his neck, to understand it, people want to have their hands kind of near their face and their neck. The answer is yes, it's not very common. And like I mentioned, part of the move is my landing on his diaphragm, which creates this reflex. So if I kind of go, boom, when I hit right here, this arm going under would actually be very smart in terms of defending triangles. But like I said, maybe 1 in 50 people put the arm under. And if you put the arm under, I'm gonna put it under. Now what? Where are you gonna go now? He's gonna pull it out, and I go here. So it's just a very simple hand on the throat. When he pulls, it then applies more pressure on his throat, and then he pulls it right out. Okay, so we're sitting down, and we close our eyes, and our hands are on our knees. And you wake up and you're side mounted on someone, standard side mount control. And right away, you feel this need to lock onto them, to hold hands and to squeeze and be so tight and so controlling. But then you remember that the more you squeeze, the tighter you are, sometimes that affects your response time and your ability to go from standard to modified side mount to cross chest to so on and so on. So instead, to smart knee. So when you side mount this person, you're not so locked down. Your hands are kind of open a little bit, fingers spread. You're even moving your hands a little bit on the ground. Your body's low. You're just you're just watching because you're ready for them to offer something. They're gonna give something. And then all of a sudden, as you're doing this, your hands are moving great, but your head's a little high, so they frame your neck. It's no problem because your arm, hips, arm,
transition to modified side mount is so fast that they weren't able to even recover guard or to escape by any way, to escape by using that frame. And so they remove the frame and you boom, boom, right back to standard side mount. But again, not locking hands, light hands, dancing fingers. And now they push your hip in an attempt to recover guard this time. No frame, they push your hip. But you're so light, your arms are so light, you scoop the tricep, you sit through. Head low, head by their chest. You put your leg back a little bit for base. They try to sit up, no deal. And when you're holding their tricep, their elbow slips to the ground. Boom, lost the elbow. Again, you're so sensitive and so light that not only are your hands light, but your legs are light. And as quickly as your hands switch, your right knee, boom, goes to the smart knee against their hip. So your right elbow and right knee, you're blocking them. They pull their elbow to the ground, it was no problem. And then right when they push your hip, you re-scoop it and you recollect their elbow, you sit through again. And then you stay there. They frame your neck once again. Left elbow big over their head and back to the modified side mount because they framed your neck from the cross chest. And now they let go of the frame, so you go back to standard control again. And then from standard control again, they push your hip again. You sit through again. The elbow drops. You smart knee again. They push you again. You pick up their elbow and you go back to cross chest. And now it's been like 50 seconds. And then they just stop. And then you just stop. And you open your eyes. And the question is, when you side mount somebody, what is the objective? Right? When you're in the side mount, what is the objective? Is it to mount? What's the objective? Is it to mount the person from side mount? Like, because you want to move forward, right? The objective in jiu-jitsu is to move forward. So after you controlled side mount for 50 seconds and now they're tired, is the objective to mount or not to mount? Or is the objective to just, in the moment, do whatever you feel, right? It just doesn't matter. So don't give the mount too much power. Even right now, sometimes I side mount somebody. Sometimes I side mount Evandro. He fights for 45 seconds, and then I can tell he's done. Maybe half the time, 40%, I try for the mount. Maybe the 30%, I go for a submission. Maybe 30%, I just stay there a little longer for 40 more seconds. Another minute and a half until he tries again. So you see, the answer is not to mount. People always say that the time to mount is when the person, it kind of exhausts and gives up. That's not true. That is a time to mount. You can also mount when someone's going crazy and you can surprise them. So don't, this visualization right now ended with us just being in side mount. And if I had to vote right now, I would say out of a group of 80 people, if I did a side mount drill where a bottom person fight to escape, I would say the majority, 90% of the students, after the bottom person relaxes, they will try to mount. And how many will mount? Maybe half will mount, but maybe half won't. Maybe half will actually lose everything in transition to the mount because the bottom person finds a second wind or a second burst of resistance. So the mount is not the goal, okay? Thank you guys. Fun time. Side mount control for a long time and just be there. Embrace the side mount. Be in the side mount. Evandro, thank you.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing you guys tonight. Tonight's Fit Jitsu at what time? 7 o'clock. We work out tonight. Hannah will be right here. Eve will be right here. I'll be at home doing it at my house so that way I don't have to do exactly what Hannah does. I can do my own modified variation, my own modifications because it can be intense. But do whatever feels good for you. 7 o'clock tonight. Fit Jitsu. We'll see you there. Have a great day. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.